Hey, Solid Gamers! Welcome to another episode of the weekly Solid News. In this episode, I'll be covering some of the biggest news throughout week 43 of 2021. If you do enjoy this video or find it informative, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of these weekly Solid News, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. Now let's dive right into it. So I want to kick this off talking about Battlefield 2042. Now we just got a brand new trailer. It's a short one, but really sweet. It's like a minute and a half, but we've really given some new details, a new look at the game, and we're getting a glimpse of 3 new maps. So we're getting Renewal in the Eastern Desert, Egypt, and Breakaway in Queedmaud Land, Antarctica, and lastly, Discarded in Alang, India. Gameplay that we're being shown looks really, really good, I must say. Now, I did play the beta. I had mixed feelings about it, but yeah, I'm still very hopeful for the full game because I'm a huge Battlefield fan. And what about you guys? Did you play the beta? And do you guys think we're finally getting a solid Battlefield game again? We got some news on Payday 3, and it's releasing in 2023. Now, Starbreeze recently held a live stream, and they shared some details. Payday 3 will take place several years after the events of Payday 2. So the gang retired and shifted into a life of relaxation, but the original 4 characters, Dallas, Hoxton, Chains, and Wolf, are brought back to the life of crime. The times have changed, however, with the dark web, the digital age, cryptocurrencies, and mass surveillance leading the way, all of which present a new set of challenges and opportunities for the gang. Now, it sounds like this could be a lot of fun, especially if you've got 3 buddies to play it with. Now, I never played the previous games, but I will definitely be checking this game out when it comes out. Now, I want to touch on a game I honestly never thought I'd be talking about because it's really a franchise I couldn't care less about, and that's Halo. Honestly, I've never been into Halo, but this game, I must say, actually looks pretty good. At least the new trailer that they showed off on the 25th of October. They actually showed off the campaign, an overview of the campaign, in quite a long video, and I gotta say, it looks pretty okay. No, I mean, it looks way better than the old trailer, than like the first one that they showed off when people just went nuts over how gosh darn ugly the game looked. I mean, it still doesn't look that pretty. It looks much improved, which is phew, that's that's a good news for the Halo fans. But still, like it doesn't still like the graphics don't come anywhere near the PlayStation, some of the PlayStation 5 games. If you look at a game like Horizon Forbidden West, for example, it's still like light years away from that. But I gotta say, it looks pretty decent though. What do you guys think? We got news about A Quiet Place. And no, I'm not talking about the movies. I'm talking about the game. They are gonna make A Quiet Place game, and it's gonna be a single player, story driven horror adventure game. Now, I'm really fond of the 2 movies, especially part 2. So there are developers who worked on the Rainbow Six and Far Cry franchises that are on this project, and it's being developed by Saber Interactive. Other than that, we don't really have any other information. We have some Gran Turismo 7 news, and there are over 400 cars to be collected in Gran Turismo 7. Now, that really does sound like a big number. To me, it's more than enough. Like I'm not really a big car enthusiast, but I love a solid racing game, and I hope this is gonna be really, really good because I honestly miss playing some racing games. But anyway, so when you actually look at it, though, the number 400 cars is not that impressive because when you look at Gran Turismo 6, for example, it had over 1,200 cars, and Forza Motorsport 7 featured more than 700. So It's not a really big number when you compare it to some other games, but it's definitely more than enough for me. While we are on the topic of in-game content, let's talk Call of Duty Vanguard. So we've just found out the size of the game and how much it's gonna take up of our storage on each console. So for Xbox One, it's gonna take up 56.6 gigabyte. On Xbox Series X and S, it's gonna take up 61 gigabyte. On the PS4, it's gonna take up 54.65 to download with 93.12 gigabyte required space. And on the PS5, it's going to take up 64.13 gigabyte download with 89.84 gigabyte required space. I think this is a very reasonable and respectable size. Returnal just got updated with patch 2.0 with some big changes, which is actually really good. I was afraid this patch was gonna make the game too easy, but that's not the case. So the update is adding new features, including suspend cycle and a photo mode. The suspend cycle feature allows players to pause their current cycle and continue it later. This lets you switch off your PS5 without losing progress. The structure of the game remains unchanged, so this functionality is not a traditional mid-game save game option. By suspending the cycle, Returnal will simply create a single-use suspend point, and once you resume playing, the suspend point is deleted and cannot be used again. So that is something really fantastic though, because I was really afraid that you can actually make like a manual save yourself, but that is not the case, thank goodness, because that would have just ruined the game and the whole immersion of it. But this is actually a fantastic update because people may not have 3 or 4 hours to sit straight during a day. I mean, sure, you can also choose to just pause the game and leave the console on, but maybe you want to take a break and maybe someone else wants to use the console and play something else. If you got a family, for example, then it's not very ideal. Now, with this update, anyone can play it. I mean, you'd still need skill in order to finish the game. It's still a pretty difficult game until you actually get the hang of it. To me, this is my favorite game of the year so far, and I really hope it wins Game of the Year award. But I mean, we still have some other games that are coming out this year that also might be better. But so far, to me, Returnal is still on my top list of this year. I also made a review on it, so please check it out on my channel. Let's talk PlayStation Plus free games for November. They have now been revealed, and this is the list. So we have Knockout City for PS4 and PS5, First Class Trouble, PS4 and PS5, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning for PS4, and then we have the 3 PlayStation VR games. Now, these are the extra 3 games that we're getting now because they're celebrating the 5th anniversary of PlayStation VR. So we got Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, The Persistence, and Until You Fall. Now these the 3 regular games I'm really not fond of, not a single one. I think the VR games might be pretty good, like the Walking Dead game and The Persistence, but yeah, like a pretty bad month. It feels like they went with quantity over quality this month, and that's a damn shame. I think I still think they should have kept like at least one big title for the 3 regular games though, and not just because we got 3 extra PlayStation VR games. It's like they're gonna cut down on the 3 regular games, and that's a real freaking pity. I mean, that's just what it feels like to me anyway. Maybe some of you guys out there really might enjoy some of these 3 games, but to me, they're nothing really. Please share your thoughts in the comments. We've got some more information about Skyrim, the 10th anniversary. So the anniversary edition comes with 4 new creations from Creation Club that add a variety of new activities. The Saints and Sinners content comes with 2 more quests, as well as more armor sets, weapons, and enemies. The rare Curious creation includes plenty of new wares, including ingredients to make special potions and poisons. It also includes the survival mode, which makes the world of Tamriel even more harsh. You will need to gear up appropriately to survive the cold, and you'll have to find food to stay alive, all the while fighting off bandits and dragons. And they're adding a totally new gameplay mechanic as well, which is fishing. And there are gonna be 20 unique fish in the game that we can catch and eat or display in our home. Now, I'm not like really fond of another Skyrim edition. I would have loved to see a new Elder Scrolls instead. But Bethesda's gonna keep supporting the game as long as people keep buying the game. So this is what Todd Howard said from Bethesda. If you want us to stop releasing it, stop buying it. So they're gonna keep, throwing out even more Skyrim editions out there as long as people are asking for it. So if we don't want to see any more of these really old games to have another release, then we should just simply stop to support it. What do you guys think about another edition of Skyrim being released? Please let me know in the comments below. So we got some news on the Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time remake. So the game is still in development and it's aiming for a 2022 to 23 release window. And I think that's a very, very good idea, because when they first showed off the game, it looks like complete trash. It looks like such an old game with a very, very, very poor budget. And this is a pretty beloved franchise, so I really think they should put a lot of emphasis on making a great remake, because there are a lot of fans out there. Now, I'm not a fan of these games. I never played a Prince of Persia game, but they should do it justice though. So this is a really good thing that the game is still in development. It's probably not going to look at all like what we saw of the game when they first displayed it. So that's a really, really good thing. Right, we got one final news I want to talk about. So we are getting a new Marvel game, and it's coming from Amy Hennig. Now, she worked on the Uncharted games. She was the creative director and writer on Uncharted 1, 2, 3 at Naughty Dog. So this could turn out to be a really, really good Marvel game, because she is really good at, bringing us story-driven blockbuster action adventures. And her talent could really fit just really well in the Marvel universe. Hennig said in a statement, "The Marvel Universe epitomizes all the action, mystery, and thrills of the pulp adventure genre that I adore, and lends itself perfectly to an interactive experience." And Hennig added, "It's an honor to be able to tell an original story with all the humanity, complexity, and humor that makes Marvel characters so enduring, and to enable our players to embody these heroes that they love." So that's it for this episode of the Weekly Solid News. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you want to see more of these Weekly Solid News, then be sure to smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you're notified when my next video goes live. Thanks a lot for watching, take care, and stay solid.